This is the famous verse which most of you know. Mamaivansho jivaloke. You can repeat. Mamaivansho jivaloke jivabhuta sanatana manashasthanindriyani prakristani karshati. The word to word. Mama, my, eva, certainly, amshaha, fragmental particle. Thank you. Jiva, loke, in the world of conditioned life. Jiva bhuta, the conditioned living entity. Sanatana, eternal. Manaha, with the mind. Shasthani, the six indriyani senses. Prakriti, in material nature. Sthani, situated. Karshati, in struggling hard. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. The living entities in this conditioned world, please listen carefully. This is the most of them I'm going to speak about the purport in that way. If you have the phone, you can take a look at it, or if you have the Bhagavad Gita, you can also listen to it, read. Chapters 15, Bhagavad Gita, text number 7. The living entities in this conditioned world are my eternal fragmental parts. Due to the conditioned life, they are struggling very hard with the six senses, which include the mind. Purport. It's a long purport. I'm going to read. Please be patient. In this verse, the identity of the living being is clearly given. The living entity is the fragmental part and parcel of the Supreme Lord eternally. It is not that he assumes individuality in his conditioned life and in his liberated state becomes one with the Supreme Lord. He is eternally fragmented. It is clearly said Sanatana. According to the Vedic version, the Supreme Lord manifests and expands himself in innumerable expansions, of which primary expansions are called Vishnu Tattva and the secondary expansions are called the living entities. In other words, the Vishnu Tattva is the personal expansion and the living entities are separated expansions. By his personal expansion, he is manifested in various forms like Lord Rama, Narasimhadev, Vishnu Murti and all the predominating deities in the Vaikuntha planets. The separated expansions, the living entities, are eternally servitors. The separated expansions, the living entities are eternally servitors. The personal expansions of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the individual identities of the Godhead are always present. Similarly, the separated expansions of the living entities have their identities. As a fragmental parts and parcels of Supreme Lord, the living entities also have fragmental portions of his qualities, of which independence is one. Every living entity, as an individual soul, has his personal individuality and a minute form of independence. By misuse of that independence, one becomes conditioned soul. And by proper use of independence, he is always liberated. In either case, he is qualitatively eternal as the Supreme Lord is. In his liberated state, He is freed from this material condition, and he is under the engagement of transcendental service unto the Lord. In his condition life, he is dominated by the material modes of nature, and he forgets the transcendental loving service of the Lord. As a result, he has to struggle very hard to maintain his existence in this material world. There is another 2 paragraphs, but I'm going to stop here reading, and then I'm going to talk about something on this and continue. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurumilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Tadati Swapadantikam Vancha Kalpatrubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanama Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Lankayite Girim Yet Krupatamaham Vande Shri Gurum Tina Taranam Pramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Let's think that we are traveling. Monday through Thursday, I used to travel almost 15 years. So, Monday early morning flight you take, and on Sunday feast you come here, recharge yourself for the travel, and then Thursday all the way travel here, from here to California, California to here. Think about the people will travel everywhere, right? Some coast to coast. And then on Thursdays, office, I don't know how much you will work, but you are jubilant to come back home. Right? The moment you come back home, oh, too much travel, I am really happy to come back home. And they open the door, immediately your children, your family, everybody will be happy, you will be happy. Oh, dad has come, my husband has come, spouse has come, whatever it is, right? Everybody is happy. So how do you feel when you are for a long travel, leaving your family, coming home? Are you happy alone, or your whole family is happy? Huh? Whole family is happy. Actually, they were waiting for you. Correct? They are waiting for you, and person who has traveled also waiting for them. Think like this. The relationship never breaks. Correct? So what kind of relationship? Oh, this is a husband, wife, children relationship. What about the relationship what we have with Krishna? So it's explained here, we are the fragmental parts and parcels of Krishna. So how do you feel that somehow we came here in this material world? Right? Somehow we are here. And Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, now it is Kali Yuga. 5,000 years are done. How many years of Kali Yuga? Think about 432,000 years. Double of that is Dwapara, double of that is Treta, and double of that is Satya. So we are in this material world for so long years. Think about it, how many years we are here in this material world. Don't think that, oh, I just born 1956, 1920, whatever it is, right? Oh, I'm just 20 years old, I'm 40 years old, I'm 60 years. No, not really. We are millions of years old in this material world. So what does that mean? Oh, I have a body, I'm identifying this myself as a body, and this body is only subject to everything is okay. You can live for 50 plus years and no guarantee. So it has been said, first 50 years is a green signal. Everything is nice and green and nice, right? If you see the traffic light, green, when you stop, when you say, oh, green, keep going. And there is a yellow and there is a red. But what is the time gap between yellow and red? Few seconds. So some signals may be a little bit, that's why we jump the signals. Yellow, oh yeah, yellow, still we can go, And red, immediately then, if you jump the red, there is already a traffic light violation ticket comes to you. So you think like this, 50 years we cross, that means yellow. Any time red may come. And that too if you are fortunate. So that's the way this life is. Don't think it is 100 years. We are thinking, 100 years. That's only in the paper. It's only on the board, not on the road. Along the way it's going right now, maybe America has seen long years, but in India, coronavirus, others, China, they were all very young. 45,000 people, 40 plus thousand people are infected. And they're all counting days. Oh my God, whether I will be here, I'm not here. We're in fear of death. Yes? Everybody is in fear of death. And we stopped the flights. I don't want anybody to come from there. Because it is not that we don't want those people, but we want to be safer so that we don't get infected. All these situations going on all over the country, all over the world. So, but is anybody ready? I am ready. Let the disease come to me. I am ready to go. How many people are ready? No, nobody is ready. If you are ready or not, if it has to come, it will come. That's one thing, right? If we are destined, if any person takes birth in this material world, there is already an expiry date. When you are born. When you buy something in the store, just like a prescription, you cannot even use it, just throw. That's all. It has to go to garbage. We'll say happy birthday. That day, we happy birthday. But destination, destiny is already saying, expiry date is already there, sir, for you. Sorry. So it's like this. Some religions explain, what is the definition of line? Anybody? A line, simple line.
Starting and ending.
Starting and ending? Okay. It has two coordinates. So it's like so many dots joined together. But it has a starting and it has an ending. But some religion, they are thinking, there is an end, because some people also believe there is an end for that line. And think about a circle. It's also dots. You are joining dots, but it's in different shape. But when it starts and again it ends. And look at that, we don't know where is the starting point, ending point, but again, circle, it goes on like this. What's that mean? So our Krishna consciousness explains, Srila Prabhupada explains, Bhagavad Gita explains, all the scriptures explain that there is birth, death is the last, but in between, old age and disease. So look at the circle. When it starts and it ends with a death, again, there is another starting point of birth again. Birth again, death again, birth again, death again. There is a video. Go to YouTube and look at birth again, death again. Such a nice video. Somebody from ISKCON has created. How baby is conceived. Husband, wife, then conceives the baby, and then how the baby develops all the way 9 months and delivers the baby, mother delivers the baby, and then boyhood, childhood, youth, then middle age, whatever it is, and then losing hair, one after the other, old age, then after that hospital, hospice, palliative care, ready for another birth again. Yes? Everybody agrees? But what is this topic we're talking about today? Eternal life, relationship that never breaks. How are we linking that with death with this? Here's a question. So Parikshit Maharaj, he's sitting in front of Shukadeva Goswami. He was cursed to death in 7 days. He did something, it's actually not wrong, but something wrong. He was taking care of the entire world. And in fact, he was very dear to citizens. Even he was restricting the Kali personified to not to enter the world. Think about such a strong soul. And he did a lot of good justice to the citizens, but he had an injustice by a Brahmin, which is 7 years old, Shringi, because he did something a little bit. He was thirsty, he went and asked a saint, he was in meditation, he took a snake and put on the top of him. And his son came to know, Shringi came to know, and he was desperate, what is this? And he immediately cursed, you're going to die in 7 days. Parikshit he don't know what to do. So what did he do? He started getting ready, spoke to Shukadeva Goswami. He took shelter of all the devotees. Took shelter of Shukadeva Goswami and asking, what shall I do at the time of, at these 7 days? What is my duty at this juncture? How many people can ask? Tomorrow, somebody is dying, what can I do? Book a flight to Italy, book a flight to somewhere, enjoy your life. If you don't know how long you're going to live anyway, so at least have some fun. But Parikshit Maharaj, he was the emperor of the world, and he had enough he had, right? He does not have any opulence. Whole world is an emperor of the world. What else he want? Everything he had. The first thing he said is, let me take shelter of the devotee and ask, what is my duty at this time of 7 days? What shall I do? What is my duty? At least he had an expiry date within 7 days. But how many of us know we are going to live for 7 days? We don't know. Right? Any minutes, 7 minutes, anything may happen. We don't know anything. Because that destiny is decided and it is not known to us, but Krishna knows. But what happens after death is a question. But how many, we are in fear of death, but people who are not into Krishna conscious, that means people are not known much about the death, they are in fear, they are in sorrow. But people who are devoted, read the scriptures, understood what exactly the death means, they welcome death. Yes? And they say, oh, they have only 7 days. Oh, it's just 7 days closer to Krishna. So they are jubilant. Oh, it's just 7 days. I waited for 60 years or 70 years. I'm just 7 days to go back home, back to God. It is just like we are traveling and we come back on Thursday and we are ready to see our family. Wow, I'm back to my family. I'm happy. So think in that mode that we are welcoming death. Maybe it's painful. We know why it's painful. But that painful, that moment, we may think it is very painful, but that's an austerity, basically an austerity. But you're actually taking another birth and you have another family together, etc., etc., etc. If it all depends on karmana daivanetrena, what we do in this material world, based on our desire, what we do, and the next destination is already decided, based on what we do in this material world, as long as we are here. So, why, and now we are very happy that we are being become a human being. We should be happy because Durlabha Manava Janma, because human form of life is very rare. Srila Prabhupada explains 8,400,000 species in this universe. Out of 8,400,000, 8 million are how many? 8 million are other species which is not human species. Jalaja Navalakshani, 9 lakh. Then Stavara, anybody knows? Laksha Vimshati. That means there are 9 lakhs of species in water alone. Yeah? And then Laksha Vimshati. Oh, sorry. Let me read that. Jalaja Navalakshani Stavara Laksha Vimshati Krimayo Rudra Sankayat Prakshinam Pakshinam Dasalakshanam Trimsa Lakshani Paravaha Chatur Lakshani Manushaha. So there are 900,000 species living in water. There are around 200,000, maybe more than that, non-moving entities such as trees and plants. And there are 1 million species of insects and reptiles, and there are 1 million species of birds. As far as the animals are concerned, there are 3 million varieties, and there are only 400,000 human species. So out of 8 million, there are so many species, and they are coming to the 400,000. This species is one of human being is one species, right? There are 400,000 species of human being alone. And at least we are fortunate that we are coming and sitting in this temple room. We cannot invite the other species, dogs, cats, animals, they cannot come and sit here, right? If you'd call also, they don't understand. And why the people like us can understand is we have a developed consciousness. That's why we can understand what is there in the scripture. Somebody is talking, you can listening, you can talk. Yeah, we can understand. Because Prabhupada says we have a developed consciousness. So in that way, we know what to do. So now we are all sitting and hearing about the literature. So what is that next thing we need to do? Prabhupada again explains that out of all these species, there are eagles also. It was very interesting when I heard this. Eagles can go from, you can see eagles here, right? Sometimes we can see eagles flying from a country to place, they can go around. But he explained that there are some eagles which can travel, it can start flying now and it can land up in another planet. That's another eagle. There are monkey eating eagles, there are elephant eating eagles. I was surprised. Wow. So think about, we are fortunate that we don't have that kind of form. But that doesn't mean, wow, we don't have to take an aeroplane. It's easy to become eagle, go to one planet to another planet. Is it easy? Yeah, they can. They have that power. They can go.
They are hungry too.
Yeah, they're hungry. So that's why they go from one planet to another planet to eat. one planet they can eat one monkey, another planet they can eat elephant. So they are so powerful. They can go anywhere. So what do we understand from this? It's all depends on, earlier we had discussion here, the mind in the mode of goodness, the mind in the mode of passion, and the mind in the mode of ignorance. The mode of goodness is good, at least it's much better. Mode of passion is troublesome. Mode of ignorance, you can't talk about that because it's animals. Animal consciousness. So what happens in the mode of people in the mode of ignorance is almost like an animal. That's what Prabhupada explains, it's not me. Prabhupada explains like that. And mode of passion, they are human beings, but they are mostly into sense gratification. And mode of goodness looks like all of us, right? But they are always serving Krishna. Their mode is to serve Krishna, not for them. So it's not sense gratification. It is not satisfying our own self, but satisfying Krishna's senses in the mode of goodness. But again, Prabhupada explains, people in these two categories, mode of passion and mode of ignorance, they're also very sinful. Very, very sinful, especially we don't know what we are doing. To satisfy our own senses, we can do whatever we want. Think about Wuhan market. I don't know how many people see, heard about it. Anything moves, anything crawls, they can eat everything. Yeah, they can eat everything. And people say it came from this disease came from a snake. Some people say it came from a bat. Because they don't know, they eat everything in the world and they don't know about where it comes from. Because this disease is for an animal and people consuming this are getting problems. You know, think about the SARS earlier, think about this now. Is that human being designed to eat this and getting into this trouble? No. It never says in the scriptures to eat all this. Patram, Pushpam, Phalam, Toyam. Krishna likes only Patram, Pushpam, Phalam, Toyam. He is satisfied. Whatever we cook, no onion, no garlic, etc., cook and offer to Krishna all the vegetables, palatable dishes. I was thinking, how many varieties of Indian delicacies are there in, think about it. Go to YouTube, look at just one word, some sabji. There are zillions of sabjis from Gujarati or from Kashmiri to Kanyakumari to everywhere, delicacies. How nice it is been designed with a vegetable and fruit and milk. The people in the mode of goodness, think about the Bhagavad Gita explain what kind of food people consume in their respective modes. What they eat, what is their likings. It's been everything explained in Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So when we do this based on our mode, it is said, like I saw recently in the doctor's office, you are you are what is that called? You are what you eat. You are what you eat. I thought maybe it's only in ISKCON temple it says like that. I thought even in doctor office also it says you are what you eat. Oh my, I was surprised. So that means the karma was not there. How many people know karma in this America? Nobody knew. After Prabhupada came in 66, now everybody knows about what karma is. Because Bhagavad Gita is everywhere. The word karma, nobody knew. Goes around, comes, oh yeah, I know karma. People talk about it. Yoga, they know, oh yeah. Only thing is, karma, yoga, we have to make that yoga. But there are so many yoga places. And there is also karma places. But you have to tell them, what is this karma and what is this yoga? Join together, please come here. This is another kind of yoga which is bhakti yoga. This is the nice place, beautiful place. Enjoy, people marry here actually. They come here on Sundays, they come and eat and dance. What is this? Eat, dance and talk, Krishna Prasadam. And marry. People all happy here, right? All are happy. And think about the people miserable. Recently, with my children, I was watching few things. A person can earn, not in a good way, but in an indirect way, he earns something. He made $80 million. Okay, but he didn't know where to keep because he was red alerts. The government says, cop says, there is no unaccounted. Where do I keep money? Finally, he got somebody, even that 70 million is gone. So he left over with 10 million, but he had a cancer. And in that 10 million also, what he will do with it? And then it's also decided in another few months you are done. And children doesn't like him, wife doesn't like him, and he has to go to another guy saying, hey, can you please donate this from a trust, charitable trust to them, my family, because they don't like me. So what is the use of $80 million earning? And you cannot even, children also doesn't like this money because you earned in a different way, which is not a right way. So what is the use of it? How much money you make in this world and do what? And you can't even show your face. You should be, he earns all the money, and he has to be in silo because anytime they may come and catch you. So what is the use of this? This is like a material world. This is miserable. For sense gratification, people can do anything. That is the mode of passion. You understand? So how much ever you do, it's useless. So what we earned, that $80 million at the time of death, he actually, what he did, he went to a desert and he dig a big pit and stored all that money. And somebody came to know and he took all that money in front of him. And then say, they give him a charity, okay, take 10 million. You be happy. So that will be our fate. If you have that kind of money and do what? Nothing. And finally, he did not have a shelter to, nice shelter, because he cannot be in their family, right? Somebody will come and catch him. So he has to be in silo somewhere, some small hut, something like that. But what is the use of this life? What is the use you learned for $80 million? What is the use of it? It's all waste. Right? So that is why, how to get into mode of goodness. Bhagavad Gita explains, if you want to go to the higher planetary system, do this kind of karma. There, here this is miserable we are thinking about. But if you go to the higher planetary system, Yanti Deva, Vrata Deva, it's explained that waxing moon and waning moon, right? How many days is? 15 days, 15 days for us. But in the higher planetary moon, it is 12 hours, 12 hours, 24 hours. That means one day there is 1 month here. So like that, we can go there if you, based on our activity, what we do, we may elevate ourselves to a higher planetary system and stay there for tens and thousands of years there. But after all the credit goes, what happens? Your credit line is $50,000. You can spend all the $50,000 and your credit limit is done and you're out of credit and you have to come out all the way to the planet Earth again. Why? You have lost your credit. So all the credit is gone. So you have to come back to this planet Earth after 10,000 years again. What is the use of it? So what do we need to do at this juncture? What do we need to do? Bhagavad Gita, think about a story from Srimad Bhagavatam. Chitraketu Maharaj had so many wives, and only one wife delivered a son. And that son was named Harsha Shoka, and all other wives were envious. So all the other wives, they came and poisoned this child, and child dies. Then Angira Muni and Narada Muni comes and say, they were, because dad was, Chitraketu Maharaj was really weeping and in crying and such. The Angira Muni comes and wake up, child, come on, wake up. Oh, he woke up. Who woke me up? Oh, your dad here. And he said, which dad? I had many dads and many parents in this life, previous life, other life, but now I'm already in that next life. Which dad you are talking about? So that means the body is temporary, but the soul, all these points what I'm talking about is, we are not the body, we are the soul. So the soul never dies, but it can transcend from what happens? What do you call that? From transmigration from one body to another body. Have you seen the cocoon and caterpillar? Think about a caterpillar. What comes to your mind when it is a caterpillar? Oh, it's crawling, it's creepy, and so on and so forth. And it creates a cocoon. Coming out of the cocoon, it takes a lot of, because when it is little hefty, right? When it comes out of the cocoon, it becomes very thin and it becomes a butterfly. And so think that the cocoon he has made his own cocoon, but when it comes out, it becomes a butterfly, right? So the time that what happens during that time is a transformation. So it's taking another body of butterfly. So our body is also same thing, becomes transformed at the time of death. That is a transformation, and you are taking another life as a butterfly, but the soul is same, but the body is different. So it's a changing of body. Dehinosmin yatha dehe kaumaram evadam jara yatha tatha dehantara prapti dhirastatta muyate. So what is that? It is just the body. It's just changing of clothes. We have a coat, change a coat, take another coat and put it. That's all. Wear the different clothes. But the body is gone. When, as long as the body is eligible to stay in this, everything is nice and clean, okay. If the body is no longer so weak, it cannot withstand, then soul has to look for another body. So what is that we need to do? We lost our family here, right? Lost every friend, but we have to get ready for another friend, another family. Instead of going, it is like Jesus Christ said, there is a bridge. This material world is like a bridge. And what our duty is to just cross over the bridge, not to stay and build a house on the bridge. Anytime the bridge may break. So cross over the bridge rather than staying in the bridge. Even our, Madhvacharya Sampradaya, Purandaradasa in Kannada says, Allide nammane, it's Kannada, Allide nammane, illiruvudu sumane. What does that mean? Our real house is up there, but we are here just temporarily. So think about, that's a bridge. It's just a bridge. We have to cross over, that's all. That is our main intention. Otherwise, there is no use. So how do we get into this cycle of birth and death, get out of this cycle of birth and death? Because see, this is the circle, not the straight line. How do we get out of the circle of cycle and circle of this birth and death? Is to purify our consciousness. In that way, my real Father, eternal Father, is waiting for us. Actually, He is waiting for us, rather than we waiting for Him. He is really, with His arms waiting for any time. Oh, I'm really waiting for you. Please come. Anytime. But are we ready? Because we have independence. We have the own free will. Because of our desires and the mind desires, we are rotting. As I said, Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, Kali Yuga now. Still we are in this material world. And we haven't attempted to go back to Godhead. If we realize this matter, that we are not the body, then we are the soul. And what is the relationship with me, the soul, and the super soul? And we have that relation, then what do I need to do next? That's what Parikshit Maharaj asked. Oh, this is my already crossed over, death came in. So what is my duty at this juncture of 7 days? So we need to think that this 7 days is almost there. We don't know when we are going to die. So we have to purify our consciousness. So we need to engage in the devotion service of the Lord and please the Lord. When we please the Lord, Krishna is satisfied and He will take us back to the spiritual world. Prabhupada very, very clearly, I was listening, he said, as long as you are sincere, chant your rounds, accept a spiritual master, serve spiritual master sincerely, and serve the Vaishnavas. On the top of it, serve Tulasi at home. Have Tulasi at home, water Tulasi at home, do parikrama for Tulasi. These are the limbs of devotion service. If you do very sincerely, you don't have to worry. Ramanujacharya, he was on the deathbed. All the disciples were crying. Ramanujacharya, why are you crying? I am really happy to go to Vaikuntha. I should cry for you because you are not ready yet. Prabhupada was also on the deathbed. Of course, it is not, we were crying for, oh no, he is on the deathbed. We are not crying for as a sorrow, but we are crying for jubilation and separation of this great saint, Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada said, I am crying because I am separating from you. I want you to come back too. So I am waiting for you. Prabhupada is also waiting for all of us. He has a back door. If we practice the way our spiritual master has instructed us, if we practice, Prabhupada will take us back to the Godhead and we'll be back home. That's the transcendental world, and we don't have, that is our real relationship, and we don't have to think about coming back to this birth, this material world, and rot again, because it's miserable. Saying that, I'll stop here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. If anybody has some questions, comments, please.
Just one comment. So Parikshit Maharaj was cursed to die.
Yes, Prabhu.
What has Srila Prabhupada told to his devotees?
At the time of death?
Yes.
He said, cooperate each other. The first thing he said, chant, hear Srimad Bhagavatam, cooperate each other so that you can all be friendly together in serving Krishna.
He says, I show you all how to live.
Yeah.
And I show you all how to die.
Yes. Because he already showed them.
No.
Yeah.
That's the depth of it.
Yeah.
I show you how to live, and I show you all how to die.
Die. So this is not an art of living, but this is the art of dying.
And the point is, did they take his instructions? Very few. Very few.
So let's all take seriously, as Prabhu said, and Prabhupada promised, if this we are taking very seriously, then our eternal link opens. Eternally we will be there with Krishna. And somebody asked Prabhupada, what kind of form we have when you go back to spiritual world? It's a human form. Same human form. Krishna has two-handed form. It's a human form there. But somebody said, oh, there is a flower, there are people become peacock. It is a desire to serve Krishna. If I want to, as a desire, to be a flower to serve Krishna, then you become flower there. Desire to serve Krishna as a peacock, then we'll become peacock there. But it's a human form there. Any other comments, questions?
Anyone else?
Yes, sir.
So, karmas that we perform, the karmas that we perform in our living state, are they predestined?
Those are not predestined. It is based on, because Krishna has given us the free will and you do whatever you want. Because it depends on, that is what conditioned life is. So this explains very well that the living entities in this conditioned world are my eternal fragments. Due to the conditioned life, they are struggling very hard. So because of mind conditioning, we identify ourselves as a body and we'll start satisfying our body. Like a parrot in the cage, we will start, paint in the cage, we'll forget about the parrot inside. We don't feed the parrot. So likewise, our body, we are taking care of the body, but we are not taking care of the soul. So what happens? Since it's a free will, we can start satisfying our, we are coming to the mode of passion, sense gratification is more and more and more. Because of that, we will tend to do so many other activities which will commit sinful activities. And then Daiva Netrena, we have Krishna super soul in our heart. Everybody has. We are individual soul, but super soul is in the heart. It's actually recording every activity of us. Yamadharmaraya, Yamaraj, he can read, he can retrieve that and see what we have done so far. At the time of death, then it is decided whether we go to hellish planet or we'll go to heaven. But if you are completely transcendental serving Krishna, we're having Tulasi at just this Tulasi Mala. Even at the time of death, if you see, Yamaraj and Dutas never come to us. Krishna will take care of us. So that is why we have to do more devotional service. In such way, our real Father is waiting and we can go back and enjoy that. How many of think about having prasad, dance, and again prasad, dance, and serve Krishna? There are millions of people. It's actually 1/4 of the spiritual world is material world. 1/4 of the spiritual world is just the material world. Think about it. And spiritual world is so vast. Go back to Goloka. If you look at the description of Brahma Samhita, oh my God, think about, if somebody says, Hawa is beautiful. Hawa is such a nice place. It's a heaven. Prabhupada said it's a heaven on earth. Such a nice place. Looking at the description, we are inspired to go there. So if you read more Srimad Bhagavatam, that's how Srimad Bhagavatam started, because of Parikshit Maharaj. And then that's how Arjuna said, I don't want to fight. Krishna gave Bhagavad Gita. So it is a lesson for us. At that point of time, like Arjuna, I am not ready, Krishna instructed. At the point of where Parikshit Maharaj happened, Srimad Bhagavatam came. So it is all for us to understand, at that point of time, what do I need to do? So Daiva Netrena, every activity is recorded. Whether you close your eyes like cat closes his eyes and drink the milk, still it drinks the milk. Same way. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Again, your lectures are always very inspiring, but today it was definitely special, very, very special. So thank you so much. Give a loud Haribol to Prabhu. So before we go for our Sunday announcement, I would like Haladar Prabhu to take few and speak few words, Prabhu, please. Please come forward.
Hare Krishna.
I will give you, please. You have to come.
Hare Krishna. I sincerely very much appreciate people came at the funeral times of my son, Dr. Jatin Patel. And today's Shraddhanjali given to him, and so many of you came, and I really appreciate. And I know you all are Krishna devotees, so I pay my really respect to you, with obeisances. Because Krishna loves more the devotees than if I serve Krishna, I love to serve you all. So if I could be any help, I try to help people Bhagavad Gita recitations, so if I ever get a chance to serve you, please let me know. Thank you very much for the all the coordinators, I'm not going to all the names, but all the committee kitchens down there, and everybody helped for this program. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. And basically, that's the spirit of our organization. That's the spirit of ISKCON. we always think beyond than the normal, the material life. And what you heard from Prabhu, even at this time, is willing to serve. So let's serve, and in that spirit, let's thank the people who serves here. This is, in case some of you don't know, this organization is 100% volunteer. Every service, every bit of maintenance, every bit of work in this temple is done by some volunteer. So, and many of you are doing that. So please, first of all, thank you for doing that, and also thank whenever you go downstairs, somebody serving prasadam, somebody doing cleaning. Please thank them, and also do whatever little bit you can. I mean, today at the end of this program, we would like some of you to come and clean this floor, wrap up all these mats and carpet. So it's small service, but that's what Krishna is looking for, and that's what, again, this ISKCON is all about. So again, thank you. Next week is, again, we have a wonderful Prabhu from Vrindavan. He's coming, he's doing kirtans. His name is, I think, Kirtan Premadas. So thanks to Tyagi family, and with their support, he's here. He will be doing a couple of programs. Also, there's a program in their home. So please talk to him, talk to other devotees, and join. Because these people are coming with a lot of effort, and it's good to have a good participation. Today's Sunday Feast, we don't have any sponsorship, but if any one of you are kind enough, you want to support us, please see me. We don't have, somehow, we didn't find any sponsorship for today. And likewise, if you are inspired to do Sunday Feast, because this is the only way we can run and maintain this temple, I look forward for your support.
How much is Prabhu?
It's just $150 for this Sunday Feast. So if any one of you are inspired, Krishna will be very happy to have you come forward in the last minute. So thank you. Ekadasi, this I think Tuesday is the Ekadasi. So details are in the ISKCON calendar, but Mataji has sent details of Tuesday Ekadasi and Wednesday fast break. Again, Anirantara Prabhu, thank you so much for coming back. We missed you so much. Yes. You can't go in. This is your Vrindavan, that's it.
Yes, that is quite true.
Yeah, let's name this place Vrindavan. How about that? Vrindavan of Radha Shyam Sundar. So yes, Prabhu, thank you so much. Again, we missed so much, even though it was two weeks out, but sound like you were 2 years already. So thank you for coming. Last not the least, again, for construction project, work is being done. Again, we look for your participation. There are a lot of people doing a lot of services, so thank you. But the biggest service is the fundraising. And a lot of you and a lot of people who are in this room who volunteer to be the loan guarantor. So from bottom of my heart, I thank you, thank you, thank you. You won't believe it, what a great service you have done. You have proven, you have given your faith to the Prabhupada, you have given your faith to the Guru, you have given your faith to this to supporting this project. And with that, our finance team is working to secure the loan. And right now, I don't see any reason, any doubt that why this in summer the project won't begin. So we are all set working towards that. And again with that, I have some very high gratitude for somebody. Like we have Narayana Prabhu. He lives in St. Louis. And I'm sure he contributes lots on St. Louis temple, and he has no reason to do it. But still, he has pledged $25,000. And he every year, this is what he does. He does very trick thing. So somebody, I think once Nityanand Prana Prabhu was giving the class, and he was saying that the trick to give a donation is that first you give the donation, then run your rest of your life. And this Prabhu always first month of January itself, he makes his pledge. So we already received his $5,000, even though he's not there. But we really pray for him. Pray that Krishna gives him lots of money and he helps us. So with that, thank you so much. Again, all very nice devotees here. We have wonderful prasadam waiting for you. So please come, have blessing, and then go for prasadam. Thank you. Hare Krishna.